Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the misadventures of Blim-Dim. Well, kind of. You see, this is like the episode 8 with the MS Paint thing in that there's been some major technical difficulties, and I didn't realize it until long after the fact. In fact, this voice that you're hearing right now was recorded over this video. What I'm saying is not what I was saying in this video. It's just that I lost only the audio of me talking. The rest of the video, it recorded normally, but OBS did not record my voice for some reason. So what you're going to be seeing right now is an episode in which I'll essentially be narrating to give you an idea. I don't know why it's paused so long here. I'm guessing I was looking something up. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'll be essentially narrating over it, giving you my thoughts on probably what I may have been thinking at the time I recorded this. This issue goes throughout all of this episode and a little bit of the next episode. However, since all of the other audio in the video is intact, I'm just going to release the episode as is. There's no way I can go back now, because I've recorded about 5 additional episodes on top of this. It's kind of too late, if you get my drift. I don't know why I don't know why I'm just jacking off in the courtyard here. I must be going on a rant about something.
This humble battle mage bids you welcome.
I'm sure I said something sarcastic to him just there. You see, so this isn't the full experience of the episode, but you still have me here with you, watching this episode essentially with you. Which is quite a radical departure from the norm.
You too.
He always says something dickish, so I probably just skipped over his dialogue here. Yeah, this... I remember I was, like, really mad when I first found this out, but honestly, it's a bit scavengeable. Like, you know, I'm here, we got all the audio, the video's otherwise perfect, and, you know, there's no other major issues. It's just that all of the voice I recorded is gone. So many cool jokes I made are just gonna be evaporated. I did this, I actually recorded this episode quite a while ago, so I don't remember everything I was thinking. But the reason there was a cut just now was because it was lagging pretty hard for some reason. There's me explaining that it was lagging. Oh, look at Blim-Dim, he's so fucking beautiful. Oblivion character creation really is something, you know what I mean? Like, I was going to use a mod to change the character creation, but honestly, I would be taking something from you guys by doing that, so I'm not going to. So this sees us doing some of the Mages Guild quests. In fact, before the end of the Mages Guild quest line, my voice comes back in the next episode. So this is going to be a lot of me mopping the floor with bad guys, and in particular, at this point, I have a lot of trouble trying to figure out the time frame in which I'm supposed to see the altar. Oh no, I haven't gotten there yet. But looks like I'm headed there. I don't see any enemies, so I don't know what's going to attack me right now. Let's see. Oh, there's a mud crab. Yeah. Alright, let's see. I'm headed towards the Necromancer's Moon objective. Looking at something over there. Okay. I want to go ahead and full screen this on my end. Alright. I found Swampy Cave, and since I found a cave, I usually feel the obligation to go inside. So in that case, I do. Since whenever I find a marker on the map, I typically hate just leaving it, because I'll know I'll never enter the dungeon otherwise. Because I do a dungeon once, and I usually don't go back to it unless it has vampires in it. Alright. Go get him, Blim-Dim! I remember exactly what I was talking about at this particular moment. I was admiring the physics of the game and saying that they were one of my favorite elements of Oblivion. Considering how much of a radical departure it was from Morrowind, I think the best, newest addition was the amazingly bad physics. I said good things and bad things about it, I think. Also, if I reiterate conversations that I've had during the spoken portions of other episodes and I just don't realize it, forgive me. Again, I'm going over events that I only have a very hazy memory of. I did this episode like a couple of days ago, maybe more. So it's... I only recently found out that there's no voice on the goddamn episode, so I've recorded about 5 or 6 episodes since this one. So forgive me if I forget some things, and repeat conversations that you've already heard, or maybe even will hear. I'm doing kind of some time travel here, because the current TheDrunkenMudcrab is ahead of the Blim-Dim timeline, and I'm going back and dubbing over this. You can tell people I'm a time traveler. In fact, I think that would be the most appropriate thing to do, given the situation. Oh, here I am talking about something. We'll go ahead and go out of full screen, just make sure the Audacity is recording. Yes, it is. I'm just using Audacity to record my voice, and I don't know if there's a limit to how long you can record. I have no idea. This cave is pretty boring. There was some good loot at the beginning there with the helmet, but not much else is going on. Just some trolls to beat up and level my stats. I feel like the Skullgirls music here is particularly appropriate given it's like a one-on-one battle between me and the troll, and if you've ever played Skullgirls, it's like Mortal Kombat or Soul Calibur or Tekken kind of game, but with a really cel-shaded sort of style. I use its music in this game because it's particularly anxious and it's also jazzy, so it fits Blim-Dim quite a bit. Fast-paced, jazzy tunes and kind of vapor wavy sort of feel is kind of the main theme of the Blim-Dim character and the meta of, you know, the series. Let's see. Looks like I'm jumping around. I'm clearly talking about something. I noticed that when I am on a rant about something, I'll just jump over and over and over and over again while I'm doing it, so I'm leveling my stats while I'm boring you guys. The reason I'm collecting arrows, if you don't know, is because of the mercantile system and the fact that they don't weigh a lot. If I can sell arrows individually, which in the future I eventually start doing, you'll see that in upcoming episodes. I begin to collect arrows en masse in order to get the mercantile increases. Because there's some particularly good mercantile perks near the end of the line. Now, I'm glad I didn't have Mercantile as a class skill, because it's particularly difficult to level. I thought it would be really easy, considering how often you sell stuff in Oblivion. You sell stuff, like, far more often than in Morrowind. But no. Mercantile is really hard to level in this game. You have to sell an exorbitant amount of items to reach level 100. It's kind of with security. Like, you could play this entire game and do all of the content, every quest, and still not have maxed security, and still not have maxed mercantile. Meanwhile, other skills are far easier to level. As you'll see, I just acquired a full suit of ebony, which is very protective. Oh man. By the way, there's 3 hours of this. So, you're going to hear narration as opposed to the actual dialogue for 3 goddamn hours. So if the voice quality has gone down in terms of the shit I say, that is also why. I have no idea what was running through my mind at this time. I was probably saying something stupid while murdering a monster. Like, fucking, get some, bitch. Essentially channeling my inner Jesse Pinkman. Another thing is that in this episode I won't really get anxious or yell a lot or anything because, of course, I'm not feeling the anxiety of the situation. It might be a bit dull, is what I'm saying. I kind of pride myself, however, in not screeching all the time like the Nostalgia Critic, because, like, I used to love watching the Nostalgia Critic's YouTube series. Then he started yelling all the time to get attention from, like, toddlers who have no attention span, and, that's about when I started watching, a subsidiary channel, Cinema Snob, who is, in my opinion, a much better reviewer. He doesn't feel the need to scream constantly to get attention from his viewers, which I appreciate a lot. Oh fuck, that guy hit the ceiling. I absolutely adore the Force Push spell. One of the best ideas for mod inclusions in this was the Force Push. Not only is it funny, it's useful. And it's a way to help me kind of ramp down the difficulty when the difficulty is just too difficult because of the bad leveling system in this game. Essentially, if you don't know how the leveling in Oblivion works, it's as follows. As you level up, everything in the world, that was funny, I must have been talking about something. Anyway, everything in the world levels up with you. And in fact, difficulty ramps significantly the more you level at a faster rate than you gain power. Meaning that mid-level Oblivion is the hardest shit ever, because you're at a point where you're not terribly powerful yet, but the enemies are. Late game Oblivion is super easy because you've made a powerful character and mastered everything. And low level Oblivion is easy because they haven't taken the training wheels off yet. You just fight easy monsters. Mid-level Oblivion is hard as balls. And it's the only Elder Scrolls game to suffer from that, because Morrowind does the same thing, but it's much more of a subtle progression. In terms of scaling of enemies. It's not as obvious and blatant in this. In Morrowind, it's still the same deal, it's just far less easy to notice because it's not as prevalent. They don't take a huge amount of effort to make sure there's certain level enemies at a certain level of the player. In fact, if you didn't know that it had a leveling system like Oblivion's, you wouldn't even see that it's there. With Oblivion, it's obvious. It's in your fucking face constantly when you see bandits in full glass and eventually bandits in full Daedric armor. Like, full suits of Daedric armor, right? When you would never see this before. Skyrim did a significant lot to mitigate this. In Skyrim, it is fairly easy to tell that has an Oblivion-style leveling system in the Draugr Barrows. But otherwise, it's not really that easy to tell. Skyrim levels pretty naturally, and it feels like it has a consistent difficulty throughout. It never feels like it ramps up the difficulty a terrible lot. It's just that you start off as a puny bastard, and when you're high level, you're more powerful than most of the enemies. It's just kind of a nice linear progression, more like how Morrowind feels. With Oblivion, Oblivion loves to bullet sponge its enemies late game. So you have to be significantly powerful to survive, or otherwise have the Force Push spell, so you can take those big enemies and toss them around like a ragdoll. I'm looking at the map for something. Oh, I wanted this map. I'm getting lost. Alright. Jumping around a corner. Okay. You know, it's kind of interesting watching this episode, like, in the past and dubbing over it like this, because Blim-Dim is at a higher power now than he is in this episode, like, while I'm watching it. Like, my current save file is, you know, he's more powerful. Which leads to an interesting thing. I have completely different tactics now than I did at this point. So it's going to be really interesting for you guys to see the next few episodes in which Blim-Dim's combat techniques change incredibly drastically. If you want varied gameplay, this is it for a Let's Play, because I reinvent myself in the coming episodes in terms of the power I wield and how I use it effectively against enemies. I find that that's going to be a pretty interesting part, in my opinion. Oblivion is not complicated. It's a really simple game, but I've managed to reinvent myself in terms of the combat from now until then. I'm still using spells, I'm still using one-handed maces, but things change in terms of how I go about situations. You'll see. Alright, looks like I need to get to the Dark Fissure. And I decided to go to Carbo's camp just because it's right on the way, and it's, of course, going to be like a tent with some bandits, you know? So I decided to go there along the way. This kind of wigs me out, just having a predator enemy coming at me and then a ghost. And then I was comparing the transparency between them and saying shit like, well, which one's the real ghost and stuff. Alright, let's see how I handle this. Well, it looks like in-game I'm able to see her pretty well, so I just kind of follow her and melee her to death. Oh, and now your spell's gone. And she died before she could get it back up. Oh, I think I remarked about this haircut. This haircut's fucking terrible, and I said so back then, and I'll say it again. What the hell is up with that hair? Why would you walk around like that? And it's not just bandit Khajiit females, there's some of them in town that look like this too. It's horrific. Look at that. God, that's awful. That isn't a mod either, that's just the base game. Alright, kitty. Let Blim-Dim do his thing. You ain't gonna live. Yeah, imagine how anticlimactic that would be. A bandit kills me and I just say, well, Blim-Dim's actually dead this time. The game's over. Look at how fucking high those skills are getting. Pretty soon I'll max out intelligence. But that's not, to give you a minor spoiler, that's not even close to the amount of magicka I get. Maxing out intelligence is not where I end my magely duties. We'll say that much. I kind of feel an obligation to be more of a mage than I am at this current point, and you're gonna really see that happen. I think here I am deliberating over how pretty the robe of the apprentice is over the robe of the conjurer. Of course, I'm wearing it because it's my rank, but I remember in that particular instance I was going, man, it kind of sucks that the robe of the apprentice looks like that. What am I doing here? I must be talking about something. Yeah. Okay, there was a cut there. That means I was looking something up. I don't know what I would be looking up at this particular time, considering I'm just going to the Dark Fissure, but I need to pause for one reason or another. It's typically nothing big. I'm just like... I usually don't cheat when looking stuff up. I like to get the locations of stuff so that I don't have to dick around for 10 to 30 minutes looking for stuff. I have a pretty heavy walkthrough habit through Oblivion Blim-Dim, but it's mostly just to figure out where the quests are so I can start them. What am I doing here? Something must be really be perplexing the TheDrunkenMudcrab here. I'm just spinning around Blim-Dim while I'm talking. Alright, get up there, you bastard. You can do it. You know, Daggerfall had the climb skill. Daggerfall. And yet, Morrowind, Oblivion, and even Skyrim, a game that would benefit highly from having a climb skill, all just miss the climb skill. It just doesn't exist. They couldn't be bothered. This is gonna get kind of boring, mostly because I don't figure it out real quick. I go about waiting until dark and waiting for the beam of light to appear and for the ritual to happen, but it never happens. So you're just gonna see a lot of me waiting. Oh shit, I'm gonna drop something. Okay. Here I am waiting like 10 hours. I'm gonna continue to do this for a little bit. Because the TheDrunkenMudcrab here gets a bit perplexed as to trying to figure this out. And I never fully get it to work. I remember I had waited every day for like a good few days, and then I looked up the date at which the beam of light should have appeared, and it was a day before the current date at which I had looked it up. So I was going, wait, I didn't see a beam of light then, and so I went, fuck it, and I did the back path of this quest. Luckily, they do have a back path for idiots like me who can't figure it out or don't wait long enough to see it happen. At this point, it looks like I'm just waiting throughout the night to see if it's at a particular time during the night. I will eventually find out that that is not the case. Alright. Figure it out. Oh, here's me looking it up. Yep. I'm going, oh, hey, shit, this isn't working. I need to... I need to save some... You know, save some grace in front of my fans who are going to be sitting here going, why are you just dicking around this cave, you fucking moron? Figure it out. So I'm going, oh, this is me going like, oh shit, let me look this up so I'm not going to keep people waiting for too long. I think this is about when I figure it out. Man, this is a long section to have uncut. I must have had a lot to say while I was tabbed out. Because usually I cut it out whenever I tab out if it's particularly long. Yeah, I must have said something and figured it out pretty quickly. Oh no. What I think goes on here is I looked up part of it and didn't look up the whole thing. The specific days. I think at this point I just figured out that it is indeed at midnight that this happens. Yeah, that's the information I'm going off of at this point. So I'm just staking out the place. I know there's a ritual that's going to take place, but I don't know when. I'm getting kind of frustrated at this point. It's not activating because before I figure out, you know, it's on particular days of the month. I may have learned that through the course of this quest line, but I didn't pay attention. So I just don't pick up on that little tidbit that it's on particular days of the month. Maybe I should have read the Necromancer's Moon book, but, you know, can't be bothered. Oh, here's me looking it up again. I think this is the point in which I figure it all out. While we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and make sure the Audacity is still actively recording. It is. That's good. Okay. Alright, looks like I'm back in-game, too. Nice. Good timing. I know every time I'm waving around the mouse, I'm getting frustrated at something. I'm not actually that frustratable. Part of it is indeed that I'm doing a Let's Play. People are watching. I'm just saying the things that I'm thinking on the inside and bringing that inner the Drunken Mudcrab and presenting it outward. You know, just kind of giving you guys the truest version of what's going on in my mind while I'm playing this, which is what should be done in a Let's Play, you know? You should get a glimpse into the Let's Player's mind and know what they're thinking while they're overcoming challenges. It shouldn't just be you sitting there silently and laughing at the jokes. You should... what I think of it is this. If you're going to be spending hours upon hours watching a person, you should be able to get a glimpse of their personality and what their mind is like. And that's what I try to give you guys. The truest of the true experience, which in this case means showing you any minor nitpick or frustration that I have. Even if it's not particularly that important, you know? Okay, so I'm still confused. It looks like I'm looking stuff up again. This quest in particular is kind of obtuse in that way. Like, I don't think... I'm not the most idiotic person in the world. I've played Elder Scrolls games. I know how they function. I'm fairly versed in them. Someone as versed as me in the Elder Scrolls series shouldn't have to constantly look stuff up about a particular quest. And if I am, I would say it means that the quest isn't particularly well written. At this point, I give up and do the back path. And you want to know what the fucking back path is? This. You murder everyone. Or in this case, you only have to murder the worm acolyte. But I murder everyone in order to get the experience and level and just to roleplay the character. Because I wouldn't leave any of these fuckers alive, even if technically you don't have to kill them all. In fact, the quest item in this case is a note on the worm anchorite. And I straight don't I just don't pick it up until after the dungeon's over. And the fact that I'm taking time to kill the zombies every once in a while, just trying to level up my stats and gain experience. This is some kickin' music. I think this is one of my favorite Blim-Dim battle songs. It plays an awful lot, too. I feel like the algorithm for picking random battle songs isn't as random as I would like it to be. And that's on Oblivion. I can't do anything to change that. I've got like 30 or so songs that play in there, and it's just gonna pick out whatever it picks out. However, I know that it does indeed catch all of them. I'm pretty sure I've heard all of them, or most of them, at least once. So it isn't trunicating some of the music, because, of course, Oblivion's soundtrack is much smaller. I think it just takes all of the songs that are in the folder and just throws them out randomly. It might be playing them in order, but I don't think that's the case. It feels like there's some degree of randomness to it. Let me know in the comments if you know how the music algorithm in this game works. That'd be nice information to have. And it's not something I'm going to Google, I don't care that much, but if you guys happen to know off the top of your heads, is more what I'm saying. It would be nice to just read a comment about that. Oh, and he fucking burdens me. This is particularly hard to deal with because my main tactic during battle is running the fuck around my enemies and kind of being evasive during combat. Burdening Blim-Dim is one of the biggest things you can do to inconvenience him. Simply because of my tactic in battle. And here I am, just waiting for that burden to go away. Nice. He's hitting his own guy over and over with some kind of debuff. I'm just glad he's hitting the skeleton and not me. Alright, I was like... I shot off like a rocket as soon as I realized that burden was off. Oh, and I almost get him, and he fucking heals. This is a pretty kickin' song, too. I know I get through this situation, but why am I not saving here? Man, I'm a bit cocky when playing this game. I'll go a little bit without saving when I probably should be. Oh well. He burdens his own skeleton, so he can't come... Oh wait, no, the skeleton can keep moving when he gets burdened. However, he's really good as the burden bolts aren't hitting me. So that was really good in that instance. Ah, I get fucking nicked with one, and then another necromancer comes in to fucking deal with me. Just absolutely a terrible situation for Blim-Dim to be in. I think I will let you guys enjoy this battle. I'm gonna go get something to drink. In this case, I'm recording with no cuts because I want the recording to be just as long as the episode is. So I'll be right back. Enjoy my victory or failure over the forces at hand. Yeah, typically I would never, even me getting up to go get a drink, I would have a cut at that point. But in this case, it's not particularly possible to do that. Also, I'm going to be sitting here for 3 hours not playing a game. I might as well get comfy. Is it really 3 hours? Yep, this episode is a 3.5 hour episode. Literally longer than your average movie. Then again, if you're watching Blim-Dim, you should be used to long episodes. That's my thing. That's one of my deals. I don't edit it down. You guys get the full experience. You see how I rise from level 1 to the end of the game when I'm a powerful badass. You get to see every step of the way, including any failures that I have. Like that. Now, the reason why the console opens sometimes while I'm playing is I accidentally hit it instead of escape. For me, on my keyboard, the buttons are directly next to each other, as I'm sure is the case with many keyboards. The tilde key is right below the escape key for me. I have a QWERTY keyboard, by the way. I don't have that other shit. Just a little tidbit. As, of course, I reference WASD controls sometimes, I think. And in particular, I reference pressing Q to auto-run, which is very convenient as Q is right next to WASD. I absolutely pity those who have a B, C, D, E, F, G keyboard where it's in alphabetical order. Because you're just gonna have to remap every single game you play. At least I think that's how that works. Maybe it doesn't. But it would stand to reason that it would fuck up the controls for pretty much any game that expects WASD control schemes. If you guys have encountered that or know anything about it, feel free to comment about that as well while you're at it. Come on, Blim-Dim, I know you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in me. Also, I have the foreknowledge that I succeed eventually, so... Is this what it's like to be a time traveler? Because I feel like I'm looking at my past self going, man, that guy was a fucking idiot. Nah, I'm just kidding. But, could you imagine how pompous you in the future would be compared to you in the past, especially if you as a person had gone through some development in your character since then? I know that if I saw myself, like, 5 years ago, I'd go, man, that guy's a total fucking asshole. I mean, I still am, but I'm far more apologetic about it than I was back then. You get my meaning. I'd like to think that overall I'm fairly nice, though I know there's some people who would dispute that, obviously. And fuck those people. See, I'm not very nice. Ah, come on, man, save it. You just killed one of the necromancers. You can... Or not. Whatever, man, it's your deal, Blim-Dim. You do you. I got confused at first as to where that zombie had actually gone. Turns out I just took a little trip down there. Trip, get it? Because he fell. Yeah. Look at these dread zombies. They have too much health. This is what I mean when I say bullet sponge. The health bars have to be elongated to make up for the fact that you hit on every attack, unlike in Morrowind. Like, it's the natural countermeasure. Skyrim suffers very badly from this, but not as badly as Oblivion. Luckily, they've gotten a little better at that. And in the Fallout series, they don't have any bullet sponging at all, because you have guns. If there was bullet sponging in that, like, it would literally live up to the term bullet sponge, you know? Like, luckily they kind of got their shit down on that one. When you're playing a Bethesda-style or Obsidian-style Fallout game, you know that when you shoot someone, they're gonna die. Unless they're like a boss, of course. Boss battles are a whole different thing. They're bullet sponges to hell, but in this, that's just an average enemy. That's just a dread zombie. You see a million of these, and yet their health bars are longer than Long Johnson's dick. And he has a really long dick, you know? So, I don't get it. Finally, he's dead. They call them dread zombies because you dread fighting them. Luckily, I eventually get powerful enough to deal with these guys. Not now, but eventually. Alright. I am taking my sweet time getting through this dungeon. You know, I just thought about that. You know that corpse back there that was hanging from the ceiling? You know how much of an ordeal that would be? I don't see ladders around. Like, how do they string that shit up there anyway? Oh, like, do they just magic it up there? What's it attached to the ceiling by? Because that is a fucking rotting body. It would make sense that it would be a bit difficult to hold that weight, to carry that weight, as Cowboy Bebop would say. You know? Feels like it'd be difficult. Like, the body would eventually just break the rope, or, in particular, not necessarily break the rope. Ropes are fucking strong, that's their whole purpose. But break the thing that has it attached to the ceiling? Yeah. Get what I mean. There's a lot of necromancers here. Oh, and they have like a necromancer bed over there. There's only a male and a female in this room. Male and female necromancer. So I think I said something about them bumping uglies. And in particular, how they might just fuck in that bed. And I wonder if they're necrophiles and if they invite the zombies and the skeletons to come play with them. Oh, this one freaks me the fuck out. I'm looking more at the physics of the banner than the battle with her, because, like, I see her walk past that banner and it fucking flutters around, and that just makes me come. I love, like, reactive physics in video games. It's just a huge turn-on for me, you know. And here I go fucking playing with it instead of killing this woman, letting her heal. I'm a simple man, I have simple tastes, and she just hit her own zombie with a frost spell. And I think she just killed it, or it ran out of time, either or. Whichever the case may be, she's not a very good mother to her summons. Dude, I jumped over her frostbolt there like Mario. We're not playing Oblivion, I just used a Mario Brothers tactic here. Fantastic. I'm collecting some cups. There's that whole area down there. I don't think you can go down there, though. Yeah, you can't go down there, so imagine if you, like, dropped your, like, the keys to that cage there in there or something. Nope, the area between the bars is solid metal for some reason. I consider leaving that faded wraith in there, and then I decide not to. What am I going back in here for? Oh, I want to rest before I fight that wraith. And they just happen to have a nice bed there for me to sleep in. Blim-Dim's a jumpy boy. That's gonna really suck in Skyrim because Skyrim doesn't have acrobatics. I'm gonna, like, instinctively want to still jump around to train acrobatics, which doesn't exist. You know, they kept lockpicking and shit. And they added, like, smithing, but they don't have acrobatics. Fuck, man. Oh. That fucking wraith can't make it through the door. Which is the best ever. Like, you're a ghost and you can't go through a fucking doorway? Shit, dude. Oh man, this is tedious as all hell. The wraiths are another type of bullet sponge in the game. Their health bars are longer than the Imperial City's White Gold Tower is tall. That's a really tall fucking tower. You can see it from everywhere in the game. It's like the Lucky 38 in New Vegas. You can see it from fucking everywhere. Like... yeah. I love how these games of distant land feel the need to have some really awesome, awe-inspiring set piece that's typically in the center of the map so that you can kind of see it from everywhere. In this, it's White Gold Tower. In New Vegas, it's the Lucky 38. In Skyrim, it's the Throat of the World Mountain. You get the idea. I'm a bit scared for the future of the Elder Scrolls series. Here's what I mean. I have a very unpopular opinion. I think that Fallout 4 was utter trash and miserable at storytelling. In addition to just flat out ignoring the lore of previous Fallout games. This is the note I need, by the way. But anyway, what does Fallout have anything to do with the Elder Scrolls, you may ask? Well, we just saw the Elder Scrolls Online, which is a total fucking flop. Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. These are all really good reasons to not have a lot of faith in Bethesda right now. And the next few things they're working on is Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6. Now, I may be wrong, and this may date the video a little bit, given that the Elder Scrolls 6 hasn't come out yet. But I'm afraid for the future of the Elder Scrolls series. We know we're getting another Elder Scrolls game. They announced it at, like, E3 or something. But is it going to be like Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim? Is it going to have that same level of quality? Or are they going to dumb it down, like they dumbed down Fallout 4? Fallout 76. That's a genuine fear I have. Oh, this is a really important diversion that I take. Getting back to the business at hand, I decide to advance the story a little bit. And there's a very good reason to do that. Oblivion gates. So I advance the story here just enough to get Oblivion gates to start opening up everywhere.
Have you ever thought of joining the
So you're going to see some of the main quests. However, I will reiterate, I will not reiterate. I would be reiterating, but you can't hear the original take I did. But I will reiterate from the past me that you can't hear right now that I'm not going to do the main quest right now. I'm only starting it.
Hello. I'm
So
Brother
just
Joffrey. Can I help you?
try to remember the events that took
Emperor
place
Uriel?
here when I
Do
start
you know
the main
something about
quest.
his death? You'd better explain yourself now.
I say something incredibly incriminating to him as the first thing I say to him. Oh, I was there when the
brought me
Emperor
the
died.
Amulet of Kings? This cannot be. Let me see it. By the Nine, this is the Amulet of Kings. Who are you? How did you get this? What do you know of the Emperor's death?
Nah, I'm saying
As
something.
unlikely as your story sounds, I believe you. Only the strange destiny of Uriel Septim could have brought you to me carrying the Amulet of Kings.
I kind of remark there that I already know who the Prince of Destruction is because I'm a Daedra worshiper. I would
His
know that
meaning
that's
is unclear
Maiden's
to me as
Dagon,
well.
but you have to ask
The
it.
Emperor seemed to perceive some threat from the demonic world of Oblivion. The Prince of Destruction, Mehrunes Dagon, is one of the Lords of Oblivion. But the mortal world is protected from the Daedra of Oblivion by magical barriers.
Oh, so at least Blim-Dim
I'm
doesn't
not
ask
sure.
that since he already
Only
has
the Emperors
foreknowledge.
truly understand the
of the
meaning
Daedra.
behind the rituals of coronation. The Amulet of Kings is ancient. Saint Alicia herself received it from the gods. It is a holy relic of great power. When an emperor is crowned, he uses the amulet to light the dragon fires at the Temple of the One in the imperial city. With the emperor dead and no new heir crowned, the dragon fires in the temple will be dark, for the first time in centuries. It may be that the dragon fires protected us from a threat that only the emperor was aware of.
Oh, I must be saying something really intricate here. I wonder what I could be talking about. I don't have a very good memory, so I can't just recall what I was saying here. Sadly, you're not getting the full unadulterated experience.
I am one of the
We're gonna
few
go
who
find
know
Sean
of his
Bean.
existence. Many years ago, I served as captain of Uriel's bodyguards, the Blades. One night, Uriel called me into his private chambers. A baby boy lay sleeping in a basket. Uriel told me to deliver him somewhere safe. He never told me anything else about the baby, but I knew it was his son. From time to time, he would ask about the child's progress. Now it seems that this illegitimate son is the heir to the Septim throne, if he yet lives.
That'd be
His
funny.
name
The
is
Emperor
Martin.
is a bastard.
He is a priest in the chapel of Akatosh in Kvatch. Yes, Kvatch. I cannot believe that the attack on Kvatch
This is a nice
coincidence.
detail.
The enemy seem to know all our secrets. You must return to Kvatch at once and rescue Martin, if he lives. There is no time to lose. If there's anything you need, please ask. My resources here are limited, but I will help in any way I can.
What I meant by that earlier is it's a really nice touch that if you go to Kvatch first before you meet Joffrey, this is actually what I'm talking about right now. If you go to Kvatch first before you
I
meet
keep a few
Joffrey,
things
he'll
here on my chest
reference
to resupply
that
the
you've
traveling
been
blades.
to Kvatch.
Help yourself to whatever you need.
I immediately do so. But I really like the little things like that. It's things like that that make me love the Elder Scrolls series and games like it. Just the little details that they put the time and energy into making, like reactions to Kvatch having been already destroyed, or if you go to Joffrey first.
Your first priority now should be to find
yet.
Martin and bring him back here. One of the youngest blades ever to serve in the Emperor's personal guard. I am glad to hear that he survived, but I fear he will take the Emperor's death particularly hard. Waste no time. You must find Martin before the enemy does.
Why is that monk wearing a pitch black robe? They usually wear white robes, huh? Looks like one of those necromancers that I'd be fighting. Oh, and here's me desperately trying to get these cups here. Like, I am just taking every step I can to get these cups. Blim-Dim will go through a lot for cups. Eventually, I break down and use the remote manipulation spell to get them. Since while you cannot touch stuff and bring it into a corner and steal it, you can do so with cups. Man, I almost got caught there. I don't know what I was thinking. So much effort for these cups. Why are now the paintings hung on the walls? Like, if you'll notice in the footage back there, some of those paintings are, like, on the ground. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Yeah. Oh, here's me making that exact comment. It's just paintings hanging on the put onto the floor for whatever reason. And they gave me my own bed to sleep in too. No chest, but a bed. So you'd have some way to level up at the beginning of the game, other than using bandit tents. However, if you have one of the DLCs that gives you a player home at level 1, you don't need to worry about it.
Hi there.
And they have 4 of those player homes based on what type of character you want to play. There's 4 base classes in Oblivion based on the 4 factions in the game, right? There's Fighter, and for Fighter you have Battlehorn Castle, a DLC location that's a castle. For Wizards, you have Frost Crag Spire, my home. I'm a wizard primarily. You have Thieves' Den for Thieves. It's built into a destroyed pirate ship. And Deep Scorn Hollow, which is an evil vampire cave.
Well done.
For vampires and assassins. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because Sean Bean is here. Sean Bean is an actor in Lord of the Rings. FYI, if you did not know.
You came here to tell me this. Explain yourself or leave me alone. There are many others here who actually need your help. Yes, I'm a priest. You need a priest. I don't think I'll be much help to you. I'm having trouble understanding the gods right now. If all this is part of a divine plan, I'm not sure I want to have anything to do with it.
Forsake the gods, worship Daedra.
If you came
Gods
to me
or not, we need your
you're
help.
more of a fool than you look. Look around. What good is a priest?
Blim-Dim does kind of look like a fool. I can only guess what I'm saying there. You know?
You think the Emperor is my father? No, you must have the wrong man. I am a priest of Akatosh. My father was a farmer. An entire city destroyed to get at me? Why? Because I'm the Emperor's son? I don't know. It's strange. I think you might actually be telling the truth. What does this mean? What do you want from me? You destroyed the Oblivion Gate, they say. You gave them hope. You helped them drive the Daedra back. Yes. I'll come with you to Wayne Priory and hear what Joffrey has to say. Lead on.
Gods? I don't even notice anymore.
So I'm gonna head back to good old Wayne Priory.
Help?
And it's under
You
attack.
must help. They're killing everyone at Wayne Priory.
This is really funny because, like, the guys just paused behind him. And they make it really blatantly obvious. This is like a main quest
Prior
flow.
Mabero is dead.
Yeah, right behind you. You fucking idiot. Look, he's paused. The rain's still
I was in
going,
the
and you're
sheepfold
breathing,
when they
but he's
attacked.
not.
I heard the prior talking to someone. Looked around the corner to see who it was. They looked like travelers, ordinary. Suddenly, weapons appeared in their hands, and they cut the prior down before he could move. They saw me watching, and I ran.
This is fitting
I
music.
don't know. In the chapel, praying, I think. You must help us.
Evil music for an evil attack.
The time of cleansing is almost over.
And I get kind of mad at Sean Bean here. I mean, Brother Martin, because he gets in the way so much. Like, I almost hit him. I think I did hit him at one point. Like, that guy actually died because I didn't want to hit Martin. Yeah, Brother Piner's fucking dead because of Brother Martin here. I fucking take his gold. Blim-Dim has no chill whatsoever. Oh yeah, this
I
glitch.
think we should find your friend
The-
Joffrey at once.
Follower double face bug. It's real bad, but I eventually figure out how to fix it. Near the end of the episode. Or maybe in next episode. I don't remember which. But essentially, the follower double face bug is a bug that happens to me multiple times, and it's just awful. It's where the actor has another face layered on top of his current face. And it looks really creepy. And it happens during one of Brother Martin's most critical scenes in the game, when he's talking to the Blades, and it looks like fucking, you know, hammered fucking hamburger, you know, like, looks like Hamburger Helper. Oh, and I actually just leave in the cut where I quit the game and reloaded, I think. We'll see if I did that. I think that is what happened. Like, I just, it doesn't take me too much time, so I close it out, open it up again. Yeah. Here's my altered menu. Have the bloody red border, which looks really nice. Oh, and then I have some glitches with it, I think. Yeah, I remember. It was, you guys could see the screen, kind of, but I couldn't. Okay, by then I had fixed it. Double face bug fixes itself temporarily if you save and reload. However, it is a pretty significant problem. Unofficial Oblivion patch does have a patch for it, and I don't figure that out until later. There is actually a spell that you can cast to fix the bug. However, I was not versed yet.
They attacked without warning. I was praying in the chapel when I heard Prior Maberel shout.
He's wearing like
I had just
eyeliner.
time to arm myself. The Amulet of Kings. I fear that was the target of this attack. I kept it in a secret room in Waynon House. We need to go see if it is safe.
He recorded that line in a different, at a different time, obviously. Did you hear the tone change on that?
We'll go together, but I fear the worst.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's telling me don't do that.
Don't do that.
I have an infamy of like 10. Also, my fame is 55, and that is probably because I've done the Grand Champion, the Arena quests, a lot of the Mages Guild quests. Blim-Dim's pretty well known.
They've taken it! The Amulet of Kings is gone! The enemy has defeated us at every turn! So it is not all gone
Except
against
one.
us. Thank Talos for that.
Martin's
We
there.
gained Uriel's heir and lost the Amulet of Kings. Martin cannot stay here. We have driven them off, but they will be back once they learn of Martin's survival. Which they will. Nowhere is truly safe against the power arrayed against us, but we must play for time, at least. Cloud Ruler Temple, I think. The hidden fortress of the Blades in the mountains near Bruma. A few men can hold it against an army. We should leave at once. We should get moving. I won't rest easy until Martin is safe at Cloud Ruler Temple.
Don't do that.
Lucky for us, we can just fast travel to Cloud Ruler Temple. The game expects us to get on our own horse and travel there, but Blim-Dim doesn't ride horses. So obviously we have to do that as a workaround there. Oh, right there I was talking about if they have 10 commands, 9 divines, why don't they just have 9 commands? Do they really have to have the biblical reference in a fantasy game? They can't just have 9 commandments for 10 divine. I mean, you know.
Let's continue on to
9
Cloud
commands for
Ruler
9
Temple.
divines.
I haven't had a good night's sleep since Kavach was attacked. The sooner we reach Cloud Ruler Temple, the better. Lead on.
Oh, I'm getting kind of gripey with them because they're not following. But they eventually get to it. And this is where they go to the stables and they kind of expect you to pick out the 3rd horse while they get on 2 horses there. Yeah, they expect you to get on that that 3rd horse over there in the corner. But Blim-Dim doesn't ride animals. He freaks them out. He just does not like riding on animals. That's just one of his flaws. Luckily, I eventually figure out... Oh man, look at these animations. That's beautifully bad. And this was like kind of a AAA game at the time that had shit like that. Anyway, you can just straight up fast travel to Cloud Ruler Temple, which makes that thing a whole lot easier. The Cloud Ruler Temple looks very Asian-y because it has a lot of Akaviri architecture.
I've put myself in your hands.
Yes?
Oh my god, the bug's affecting him again. And Joffrey too. I just
Yes,
let him do it.
This is the Emperor's son, Martin Septim.
My lord, welcome to Cloud Ruler Temple. We have not had the honor of an emperor's visit in many years.
Yes?
Ah, well, thank you.
You know, Cyrus is the name of the first character that Redguard voice actor voiced in the game Redguard, before he became every Redguard in Morrowind and Oblivion. He once voiced a character named Cyrus, so I think this Redguard, also named Cyrus, might be a callback to that. Or maybe the fact that Cyrus was a local hero meant that people were named after him in the future. Either or, doesn't really matter.
Blades, dark times are upon us. The Emperor and his sons were slain on our watch. The Empire is in chaos. But there is yet hope. Here is Martin Septim, true son of Uriel Septim.
Hail, Dragon Boy!
Hail,
Martin Septim!
Hail!
Your Highness, the Blades are at your command. You will be safe here until you can take up your throne.
Joffrey, all of you. I know you all expect me to be Emperor. I'll do my best. But this is all new to me. I'm not used to giving speeches, but I wanted you to know that I appreciate your welcome here. I hope I prove myself worthy of your loyalty in the coming days. That's it. Thank you.
Well then, thank you, Martin. We'd all best get back to our duties, eh, Captain?
Not much of a speech, was it? Didn't seem to bother them, though. The Blades saluting me and hailing me as Martin Septim. I don't mean to sound ungrateful. I know I would be dead by now if it weren't for you. Thank you. But everyone expects me to suddenly know what to do, how to behave. They want an emperor to tell them what to do, and I haven't the faintest idea. Of course, the Amulet of Kings. So I, can take it to the Temple of the One and light the dragon fires, and stop the Oblivion invasion.
Wonder what I'm talking about there.
That's an idea that will take some getting used to. In any case, we need the amulet first. Maybe Joffrey will know where to start. Don't worry about me, my friend. I know I'm in good hands here.
I need to progress just enough that Oblivion gates start forming. However, I don't know exactly when that is, so I might piddle-paddle around a little bit. I eventually know just the way to figure out, however. Oh, it looks like sometime or another during that I had looked it up and figured out how to fix the follower double face spell glitch by turning off the double face spell, because I already had it on and I turned it off and I turned it back on because I didn't know what it did at first.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, none of them are followers anymore, so I can't hit them with the spell. So instead, I just save and reload. And this is another one that I didn't cut out for whatever reason. So It'll take me a second. I'll pull the game back up. Might have some difficulty. We'll see. Looks like I'm having difficulty as I would have exited out that menu. Yep. Look at me having all this trouble, man. I hope this episode doesn't suffer too heavily from it. But, like, look at this. I'm having issues with opening and closing the game. I'm having the follower double face bug. I just straight up lost the audio for my voice for this episode. It's just not great overall. Not a good time. I hope you guys have a good time. That's the important bit. Me getting frustrated, that's no big deal, you know. But it's you guys that I care about. I want you guys to have a good time watching this series, and I feel like acts of God like this detract from it, and there's like nothing I can really do other than doing my best in dumbing over it. One thing I like here is that the horses are leading themselves back into the stable. Look at that. No one needs to lead them or nothing. Those are independent black horses who don't need no man. Oh, and I'm actually waiting to see if the third horse arrives. Since the third horse was supposed to be ridden by me over here. But I like the small touch in that these two horses are the only one here, and that the third one is just left in the other stable. You want to talk about animal cruelty? How about the fact that we all left those horses, that one horse back there in that stable to, like, die of not having any food? Oh yeah, this is nice. I use toggle free cam without going into third person, which does that. I wanted to get a scenic shot of Blim-Dim and the Akaviri architecture in the same picture, so I kind of zoom out here and achieve that. The distant land in this game looked okay back in the day, but now, look at those low poly mountains. That just does not have a great look to it. I wish they'd put a tiny bit more effort in the distant land. They get it by Fallout 3. Fallout 3's distant land looks amazing. And that was the game immediately after this one. But this game just doesn't have the best distant land. Hail. Looks like I'm gonna go back to doing some other stuff. Oh, I'm going here to check if the Coral Oblivion Gate is up yet, which is not, sadly. The reason I'm doing that is because the best mace in the game, the best one-handed blunt weapon in this game, is in the Oblivion Gate that spawns at Coral, in addition to other places. And then I'm kind of confused. I'm like, hey, do I need to talk to Joffrey, advance that quest a little bit? But no, it's just those gates appear over time. It isn't like a super immediate thing. And you will notice later on that Oblivion gates will start forming around the landscape.
Proven yourself a loyal servant
the
of
Mythic
Empire,
Dawn,
as worthy as any of the blades to stand by Martin's side during this crisis. As the Grand Master of
Mythic
the
Dawn
Blades,
moves when
I
we
would
do.
be honored to accept you into our order. Will you join us? It is my honor to welcome you into our ranks as a Knight Brother of the Blades.
Nice.
You're right. We must try to recover the amulet before the enemy takes it out of our reach. You should go back to the Imperial City. Boris may have learned something about the assassins. You'll find Boris at Luther Broad's boarding house in the Elven Gardens district of the Imperial City. Give my warm regards to Boris. Tell him he should not blame himself for the Emperor's death. He did well to send you to me.
What concerns one of us?
He should blame himself for the Emperor's death. His entire job is keeping the Emperor alive, and he couldn't even do that. But what I was saying was this. The reason for getting the Oblivion Crisis up and going is twofold. One, I can use the Oblivion Crisis to get Hatred's Heart, the best mace in the game. It looks like I'm looking something up here. Probably about the Oblivion Crisis, so I'll talk over this. That's the first reason, to get the best mace in the game, Hatred's Heart. The second reason is to get sigil stones to fortify my armor and whatnot. Because sigil stones are like master level enchanting stuff where you don't actually have to do the work of enchanting. You can just enchant things with sigil stones. So it's a very good incentive to go do the Oblivion Gates. And in fact, the mod I have for Frostcrag Spire allows me to do just that. I can quite literally go into Oblivion Gates as long as I pay Daedra Hearts. You will see this in a moment, I think. Right now I'm just dropping all my equipment so I can probably so I can carry more loot. Oh, and I'm getting rid of weight by repairing stuff. That's nice. Looks like I'm going down there now to activate my portal creator and to drop off some cups. Oh, I get really angry because I drop an urn in addition to everything else, and I don't even know how I got a silver urn. I just put the urn in a chest. I love how easy it is to drop cups in this game as opposed to Morrowind. And I get a Daedra Heart from that. And I can use that on the Oblivion Gate Maker here. Which is really freaking awesome. Aw, yeah. Since it's just gonna be me going through Oblivion, I'm gonna take a short break. This will continue going, but I will be right back as I run past and or fight through the denizens of Oblivion.
Oh!
I've returned. One thing I can say about the Oblivion style is that it's really fucking heavy metal. And that's actually what I commented in this segment. Something clicked in my mind where I remembered that this place is so fucking heavy metal. Like, I'm getting kind of confused at this point. I don't know where to go. I get kind of lost, as it were. And this is when I realized something very important. That tower leaning over that Oblivion gate there, that means one thing and one thing only. This is the Oblivion realm that has Hatred's Heart. Because, you know, the same Oblivion realm tries multiple times in different areas to invade Tamriel, right? However, this particular instance of Oblivion that we're in right now has Hatred's Heart in it. So I'm trying to reload to see if I can get to the beginning. Because that's where Hatred's Heart is. Instead, I encounter this glitch. Wow. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This freaks me the fuck out when I first see it, too. I'm like, that's a nice sunny day in hell. That's just lovely. Fucking glistening fires and whatnot. And then just a sunny, lovely sky. I finally decided that that's gonna be the way I have to go. So it looks like I'm gonna take the easy way down, just go on down this tower here. I'm being careful about my jumps only because I have low health, otherwise I would just careen down there. Unluckily, however, oh no, this isn't a tower that doesn't have a door at the bottom. This one does have a door at the bottom. I'm mistaken, I was remembering a different Oblivion tower. Yeah, so you just get out through the bottom here, it looks like. It's nice of Oblivion to have handy elevators. Fuck Spider Daedra. They're the worst. I just decided to say fuck it and I just run. You will see that I do not do a great job the first couple of times around. Coming up. One of those bolts just hits me out of nowhere and I fucking face plant it. And I get hit by the, oh, I'm assuming is a storm Atronach over to the right. But I'm determined. I need Hatred's Heart. It's the best mace I can get at this point. We eventually get one that's slightly better, but that's because I was misled by the internet into believing that Hatred's Heart was the best at everything. But no, it's just that it has one of the highest base damages and it also has one of the best enchantments on a weapon in terms of sheer damage output. That plus that equals the most damaging weapon in the game. However, enchantments don't mean much because I always run out of charge, so eventually I'm going to pick up another mace that has a higher base damage, because that's kind of what matters more to me. Now, Hatred's Heart, the best mace in the game, arguably, and Hatred's Soul, the best bow in the game, non-arguably, it just is the best, are both in this secret area. That's really hard to find. It was very clear to me that they intended this to be a challenge. There's no hint at all that you can find this place, and yet I actually miss it the first time around, even though I know about where to go. Like, it's supposed to be around here, right? I get it right, and then I just don't find the exact location and go searching around the whole rest of the island. Like, I'm stepping on the door right now, but I don't see it, so I just run off. The only time I had done this Easter egg hunt was about, like, somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago when I played this game on console. Yeah. I played this game both on PC and on console, because I had a shitty PC at the time, so sometimes it just would straight be better to play it on the console, because I would have less lag. Now that is not the case. My computer can well overhandle Oblivion. But yeah, essentially, I remembered vague instructions, and I eventually have to go and look it up and find the true location. Yeah, I'm just totally clueless. Completely don't realize that I missed it back there. There I am looking around for door markers. Don't find any. Somehow. Yeah. Oh. Am I gonna... Oh yeah, I think I did just look it up. There was a cut in the video there. And I fucking died! Oh, fantastic. I eventually go back to this save, I think, because this is actually closer. However, I changed my mind once I realized I don't like dying over and over again just to have one success be a fluke. Some red hot ground, man. Yeah, this is around the area that I need to be looking. I still miss it. God damn the drunken mudcrab, fucking. And then I eventually go through the walkthrough guy's way of finding it. And there it is. I like these. They have this whole cave tile set that's really underutilized. Because going into caves is usually a highly optional part of Oblivion, since you go into the towers to activate the sigil stones. And they're like the only reason you come here other than for loot, so the caves are highly irrelevant, yet they built this whole tile set towards caves. So I like that the Easter egg heavily uses one of these caves, because that's going to increase the amount of people who are going to see the art maker's assets here. They're going to see this beautiful cave tile set that is hardly ever used. You know, something that strikes me about the Daedroth in Oblivion. They don't shoot poison. In fact, they mostly just shoot fire. Daedroths were a pushover in Morrowind because they shot poison out of their mouths. In this, they don't hardly use any magic. They just attack you with their claws. If they're using any magic, typically they're throwing a fireball at you. And there's some creatures waiting for me. I'm just gonna wreck this guy real fast. His friend shows up. He's a hatred keeper, because it's hatred's soul and hatred's heart. Which I find it really interesting that they went through all that work of renaming some Dremora. The first key and second key of hate. This is more involved than I remember it being. I didn't remember you actually going up a ramp to go collect these items. You go up several ramps, actually. Oh, I point out the Oblivion symbol up there real fast. That's why I was looking at it for an elongated amount of time. Yeah. Let's check if Audacity is still recording. It is. Okay. Let's get back to the subject at hand. I gather the bow. Hatred's heart. That's a lot of damage, Chief. Plus 35 fire damage. Which, you know, both of those together is just great. It's a really nice mace. I only eventually choose a different mace over it because the base damage is truly what matters, in my opinion. Because subjectively, it's much easier to just not have an enchantment work on your mace than to refill it constantly. I just feel like overall it's a waste of time to dicker around with the enchantments a bunch. And it suits me personally to just ignore the enchantment, let it run out, and then focus on the base damage of the weapon and its repair. Because I'm already worrying about all my weapons and equipment being at the proper level of repair. I don't necessarily want to worry about the enchantment, since it runs out all the time. Like, you hit something 10 times, and you've already run out of your enchantment. Like, yeah, see, I just ran out of enchantment for the mace I just got! So you get what I mean by that. Yeah, that mace is already out of enchantment. That's why you should not put too much thought into the whole enchantment thing. Oh, looks like I'm looking something up. What am I looking up here? Oh, I'm probably looking up something related to the stats of the weapon. Either Hatred's Soul or Hatred's Heart. Oh, no. I think I'm looking up how to recharge your weapon, because I noticed that the enchantment just died after no time at all. And that kind of irked me. It's too bad that you can't turn the enchantment on and off, so you can only enchant it sometimes. Also, I'm checking if it's properly leveled, because the base damage of the weapon is actually 21, not 20. It's just that I don't have good enough blunt skill to have that kind of damage. That's just it, pure and simple. Alright. Looks like I'm heading back to get the job done. Let's get that Denon deal done. Playing leapfrog with lava here. That time I just can't avoid it because the jumping in this game is a tiny bit janky. Jumping works, and you can be really fluid at jumping, but sometimes the jumping sticks a bit harder than it should. This Clanveer is kicking my ass for no apparent real reason other than just me being inept at combat. And I eventually just send him into the lava. He fucking dies. And now is the point that I run. This has ceased being a combat encounter and is now me running to the Sigil Stone. We're doing a speed run here. I do my best to avoid it, and I just run right into it. Because the turret fireball towers can actually lead. So if you're running, they're gonna hit you unless you change direction really abruptly. Here I am just getting fucking pwned. I thought I was gonna die to that landmine there. So I saved. Man, I'm so close to death. And then I realize. I'm not going to be able to swim over that lava because I don't have the health for it. I don't have any healing potions. So I have to do that shit. Man. That's tedious. Oh, and eventually combat stops. Let's see, do I think to just wait? Okay, yeah. Because that saves me some time there. Just gonna take a little swim in the lava, but with as much healing on me as possible to keep my health up. It looks like I'm gonna be able to enter the fight with full health. And that turret is hitting that wall there. How does it know I'm there if it can't see me? That's kind of shitty. It's an omniscient turret tower. You can't destroy those things, so... You know. Just... I decide to start fucking... At this point, rather than any other, to, train my mysticism. I'm really into leveling up. You know, that trick of casting the same spell over and over and over again to level your spell experience works in Skyrim as well. Yeah, they did not fix that at all. You can just sit there and spam mysticism spells, and it can't tell the difference between you using it for any kind of purpose or just using it to, you know, to fucking scum the levels. So I'm back where I was before, finally. That took a long-ass time. And I think I'm a bit lost. I'm trying to figure out how to get up there, and it just ain't working out for me, right? So I come up with this harebrained idea. It fucking works too, which is the best part. Getting down lower actually helps me get through this tower because I'm able to get my bearings and go the right way. Trying to shove that storm matcher knock off the cliff there, but it ain't working out. Off the balcony, I mean. And I can't wait, even though there's no enemies nearby, but right here. This is where I discover that the enemies nearby thing does not check for verticality. It only checks in the X plane. I mean, XY plane. It does not check Z at all for whether or not you're near an enemy. So, like, as long as you are within an enemy's radius, it does not matter how high up or below you are to the enemy. They are still considered nearby. Make some interesting noises, don't they? I love how they ragdoll. That fat, flimsy model slamming into the ground. Roar! I love how that blade almost hits him. Those things look a lot like the Soul Calibur blade from Soul Calibur, in my opinion. They've got kind of the same vibe about them. Especially with the eye near the hilt of the blade. The Punished. Seriously though, nothing is more metal than fucking containers made out of stretched hearts that are still beating. Look at that. Throw him. He goes flying, of course. He has a wide arc of attack with his melee attacks. One of his pieces hit that flame in the center. It just owns him. So you see all these little sparkles where the flame is hitting every single piece of his body. That's absolutely beautiful. Oh, that's perfect. So the cool thing about this being called the Tower of Natural Disaster is that Marin's Dagon is the Daedric Prince of Natural Disasters. So they're kind of trying to keep to the lore there and having it a lot of his towers being named after natural disasters like earthquake and landslide and whatnot. Oh, I'm just looking at the janky physics of that spider data. It is very clear that they outsourced this to the Havoc engine, and it did not entirely understand what they were doing with the physics system in this game. You can see the sky through the ceiling there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Fucking owned. Go get him, Blim-Dim. Man, I somehow avoided that blade arc entirely. That was ridiculous. He is dead. Oh, the reason why I'm using a melee weapon in this instance, I think, is because I was silenced. So I think here I'm just reading this, but essentially it says your sleeping power attack now has a chance to knock down your opponent. You have to move backwards to use this power attack. I point out how dumb that is, because, like, enemies don't keep on you like that. You can't just run backward and hit them. I try to test it out, and it just does not work well at all. Like, check this shit out. I run up to him. That. And I'm able to magically hit him once and just not knock him down. Now look at this shit. Fuck. And I still don't disarm him. Eventually, I think I'm just gonna give up. And just kill him the old-fashioned way. I was saying something about Cyrodiilic Brandy. I guess how it looks generic in comparison to the unique bottle in Morrowind? I don't know what I was talking about. Anyway, I'm gonna, you'll notice that I'm gonna save scum this to get the right sigil stone. Because there's a particular one I want, Fortify Magicka 50. And, I save scum to get the right one. I guess I'm just admiring the animation here. Oh yeah, and then here I have saved scummed and gotten the Fortify Magicka 50 points stone, which is awesome. I don't know what else I'm saying about it. There's not much to say. It's Fortifies Magic 50 when you click on it. And you can put it onto any item, meaning that your enchantment skill or how much enchantment the item can have is irrelevant. Here I'm just deciding what article of clothing to put on. In this case, I choose a silver emerald ring, because it looks pretty. So you'll see how this works. No enchantment skill, just boom. Silver emerald ring is now enchanted with Fortify Magic 50 points. This is the main reason why I did the Oblivion Crisis thing. Now I'm coming up with a name. You'll like the name, I think. Oh man. Nope. That isn't it. I eventually go, hey, it was really hard to get the sigil stone. Blim-Dim's Power Nexus #1. And the other one's going to be Blim-Dim's Power Nexus #2, since you can wear 2 rings. That's effectively 100 magicka. Now, To give you an idea of how much magicka that is, at 100 intelligence, you only have 200 magicka. You know what I mean? There's just an absolute massive amount of magicka here. So I take that cup back, but I don't take the other one back because it's considered stealing. So I kind of kick it over, but it's going to be a bit too difficult. It's kind of stuck in there. Oh, it looks like I actually try to just grab it. Or do I? Oh, no, I use remote manipulation, of course. And then I don't know how to drop it. So I come up with the only logical thing to do, which is to wait an hour. And then eventually the spell goes away. Yeah. Fucking those imps will report you to the guards. That shit's intolerable. Not tolerable. Just a glitch on Bethesda's part, though. I don't think it was intended. Alright, I think I'm saying on how I'm gonna get another ring to do exactly that. Have a power next number 2. Because if you have a number 1, you gotta have a number 2, you know? That's how they kind of fucked themselves with Star Wars. They named them Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6, and you go, well shit, we have to make 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3 fucking sucked. So they definitely screwed themselves on that one. So if you number it, you just gotta go through with, you know, having the numbers like the rest of the numbers. Like if you got 1, you gotta at least have 2, and if you got like 4, 5, and 6, you gotta have 1, 2, and 3 eventually. I fucking max my speed. Run around like the Road Runner, Wile E. Coyote chasing after me. I am level 21. I'm old enough to drink, and yeah, never mind. He's leveled enough to drink. At least in the United States. Which is not a province of Nern, you will find. Yeah, the United States of Tamriel. I wonder what I'm talking about there. I think I'm worrying about restoring my attributes. And that's like a major concern of mine.
It's you, the hero of Kvatch. This is truly an honor.
Yep, the hero of Kvatch. A pink lizard.
What kind of Let's do business.
Buy some cups from him. Hell yeah.
You bought that for a
I'll go ahead and buy his repair hammers while I'm at it. Oh yeah, I bought that for a song.
Thank you. Goodbye. What kind of... I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Oh yeah, you and everyone else. I just sell them because I don't need Soul Trap for anything. And they're worth a lot of gold.
That seems a fair price. You drive a hard...
That and they respawn. You can always get more of them if you really need it. And I don't. I'm not gonna do archery in this game. However, at the very least, I don't sell Hatred's Soul.
You got a great... That's... a good...
I'm just selling stuff and getting rid of excess crap in my inventory. Just so I don't have as much stuff cluttering it all the time.
You drop... That's more than I'd usually pay.
Yeah, I'm just explaining there that I'm not going to get rid of Hatred's Soul. Simply because it's a really nice collector's piece, and Blim-Dim is a tiny bit of a collector. Just a tad. I think I'm putting it on display now. Yep, that's it. It looks lovely in this display case. Have to readjust it and everything, get everything just right. Checking out all my stuff. It's the Grand Champion!
Standing here next to me.
Next to me. Well, I'm talking about how that's a fairly ordinary item, but it has a lot of memory for me. That Apron of Adroitness, like, that's just a good quest, and it's a good memory to have. And then freaking Chillrend. That was fun. I made a mod in Morrowind with the help of the, what was that? Yeah, the Flying Guars team to make a mod based off of Chillrend. And it was a red version of the sword. That was like... It was like a twin blade to this other sword, if you get my meaning. Yeah, it has a pretty nice story along with it. That quest line was a treasure hunt across Tamriel. And here I go, going to get more enchantments. This will go significantly quicker since I'm not looking to find a sort of secret weapon and a secret hideout or something. I'm just going through Oblivion, getting the stuff, getting what I need. So there probably shouldn't be too many delays. That creeps me out. That's fucking sweet. Those claws reaching out of the ground as if they're gonna grab you. Here I am, just speed running at fucking leveling mysticism and avoiding the enemies. That's Blim-Dim. Fucking, let's take this opportunity to level up while we're being chased down by horrible monsters. Bye, Spider Daedra. But Blim-Dim's like, he don't got time for you. Oh shit, that was cool. Trying to shove that Spider Daedra into the fire pillar, having some fun. Oh, I'd kill that one, I think. Oh no, that one didn't die, it just got damaged. My apologies, I don't remember it precisely. I think I just have fun sending them through the fire and seeing them catch on fire. It's a nice touch. It's the little things, man. It's always the little things. Here, I'm gonna have some trouble with these Spider Daedra. Because of the little ones that paralyze you. Getting wrecked over and over. I think that's how this goes down, is I die a few times before figuring it out. I've got a pretty good system going here, it's just that it ain't enough, I don't think. Yeah, look at that. Yep, that's it. Give another shot, Blim-Dim. Fuck, man, his tail's spazzing out. Oh shit, my computer's falling asleep. Hold on. Let's see if Audacity's still recording. Oh good, it is. That was almost bad. I'll keep an active watch on that, make sure it doesn't do that again. Luckily it was in the pre-go-to-sleep phase, so I was able to wake it up without any real effort. I just get so mad from being paralyzed, I reload it just as soon as I get paralyzed that time. Oh man. I don't know why I don't just say fuck it and keep going, but for some reason at this point I just felt the need to show these bitches who the Blim-Dim is. And die a bunch in the process. At least Blim-Dim doesn't hate Spider Daedra as much as he hates Slaughterfish. Ooh, he hates Slaughterfish. He's had trauma from Slaughterfish. Fuck, man. Yeah, I told you. I die over and over and over again to this. These two Spider Daedra because I have no health when I start the battle. There I am going. I'm just gonna use force push. That's like my primary tactic, is just force push it away. Push all my problems aside, if you will. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. Oh fuck, he died mid-air. Ugh. Righteously evil. This is kind of fun, watching it with you guys instead of actively being the one doing it. Of course, I watched that other time when that Dwemer guy was running the show, but that's just like a one-time deal. I didn't expect to be doing this again, watching someone else, in this case just me in the past, doing it instead of actively playing myself. Yeah, I really played myself. I'm gonna die. Look at that health. I know I'm gonna die. That, wow. Like, she fucking, kung fu'd us. Like David Carradine us, man. Not the choking himself to death while masturbating thing. The whole kung fu thing. At that point, I'm done with fighting. I just want to get through the encounter at that point. All means necessary. I mean, any means necessary. I got fucking shot by one of those blades that looked like the Soul Calibur blade. Just destroyed. I have to go up there again. Hopefully I can avoid those enemies better this time. Oh, and I get the good idea to heal myself a tiny bit as I go. Yeah, I avoid them all that time. I don't know what happened last time. Avoid the clan fear. Before I realize I have to go up that ramp, not down into that thing. We're going into the dead halls, which seems about right. Blim-Dim might die. The dead halls are aptly named, friends. Trying my best to live. I think one of the bad guys got hit with the blade there. That's why he made that noise. Got hit by his own trap. Hear that Drumore behind me just letting that fucking mace whiff the air. Break and fall, or his sword, I think that was. I didn't see it too good. Doesn't matter. His weapon whiffed through the air. Looking behind me, making sure they're not following. Had a lot more trouble with this Oblivion gate than I thought I would. It's quite a long ascent up the tower. Blammo! I love how they just explode into a million pieces when you force push them. Yeah, at that point I'm just done with the bad guys, want to get out of here. Been clinging to life on this last bit of health and no way to heal it up. Well, no good way to heal it up, I mean. There are ways, they're just tedious, and I'd rather just do it the hard way other than sitting there and healing, finding a place away from the enemies, blah. Fucking Zavali slams me into the ground down there. That was a really nice death. Fuck! That one Oh, yeah. I have to reload a previous save before I get fucking stuck there. I survived it the first time, but something about reloading in that spot just... It's just a death trap. Doing my very best to avoid. I got the dragon's bow. I'll be sure to give that to Brother Martin since he's the dragonborn. No, I'll just sell it. I know that's what I'll do. Not even gonna lie about it. Okay. And here is where I save scum to get the right sigil stone. And oh, I kept this in for some reason. Okay, so I save scum now. Until I get the right one. And I cut out the save scumming because that's kind of annoying to have to watch. Alright, I don't have the, so I just do a gold sapphire ring. I was originally going to match the rings together, but I decided not to. And then this happens, because I have that other ring equipped and it was glitching out. And Blim-Dim almost fucking dies! Or he does die! Oh shit! I'm glad I saved. I am so glad I saved. Acrobatic skill increase because I'm fucking dying by falling. Oh, look at that health bar. So good. 9 health. Out of 380. Oh, I'm talking about how good those rings are for my magicka. And they are really good. Fortify magicka 100 from those two dudes. Yeah, just sleep in my bed, healing up. I don't know what I'm talking about there. Waving the camera around, I'm clearly in conversation about something. Deep conversation. Now I'm still talking about something because I'm jumping around like a jackass. Huh. I wonder what point I was trying to get across. I guess we'll see based on the actions I take further into the episode. Man, you know, of all the episodes to have the audio lost on it, a fucking 3.5 hour long one was the absolute worst. Like, man, so much of my voice is lost by having that happen on this episode in particular. I mean, it's okay. It's not the worst thing to happen. The episode's kind of dull. It's just me doing Mage's Guild quests and Oblivion gates. But, you know, I did a main quest. That's significant. And it just kind of sucks losing that, in my opinion. Now I'm going to go and restore my attributes, because I guess I forgot that I can't use shrines because of my infamy. The weak and poor suffer by your crimes. Break not the peace of Tiber Septim. Zenithar hates the thief and the lawbreaker. Offend not against the peace of Mara. Break not the laws of man nor beast. Lawbreaker, you tempt the wrath of Julianos. Seek not the dragon's blessing, sinner. Your crimes corrupt your body and spirit. Not even Debella loves a sinner. I'm pretty sure I said something snarky about that. She's the goddess of the nine divine, the divine of love, by the way. Which is why That's significant. So I need to find some alternate way of restoring my attributes, which I do. In fact, I'm fixing to look up how to do so now. That little jump in the video, that was that. And I find out that I can get the spell from someone who's here in this chapel hall. Which is much different than Jake Gyllenhaal.
The Nine welcome you to Bruma. I'm Isa Raymond.
No worries, I said that was that
priestess of
rhymed
Talus.
vaguely. And that woman...
Have a look at my
No, they
wallet.
don't.
I'm sure there's something to suit you.
The Nine do not welcome me. Let's just get that out of the way.
Thank you. Goodbye.
I got Restore Agility, which I still can't use because I don't have the restoration for it. I will find this out in a little bit. I don't find this out yet, though, so I'm all excited. I'm like, yay! I'm gonna go make spells to do all this. And then I can't make my spells because I can't cast it yet. Look at Gormless old Blim-Dim running up there, not knowing that he can't make the spells yet. So innocent, so pure, this Blim-Dim. So pure. So pure. How did I forget? It's like the right one every time. The enchanting altar never gets used. And then I can't find it. The restore attribute. I question if I ever got it in the first place, before I eventually realize what's going on. Actually, I think I realize what's going on only when I look it up again. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. Requires restoration skill of 25. Restoration skill is 16. That's a problem. Because it needs to be 25 before I can even make the spells I need. Much less to cast them. Oh, and there I leveled restoration to 25. Do you want to know how I did that? I put a BB gun canister on the C button and just let it cast restoration spells until the perk message showed up. It's literally that easy. If you want to, you know, like I only do it to 25 because it's exactly what I need. I'm not going to level restoration to 100. However, if you really want to cheese the game like that, just put something on the C key and cast a low-cost spell over and over and over again until your skill is at the next perk. Now I'm looking at Blim-Dim's beautiful face there. Restoration is exactly at 25, just the minimum I need. Because I didn't want to go over that, you know. And then I make the spells. I was originally going to have you guys sit through all of this process. However, midway through, I eventually decide to cut some of it out. Because I make a restore attribute for every single attribute. I eventually decide on a low number so that I can just cast it without effort. Blim-Dim's restore strength. First requires restoration skill of 50. That's an issue. Does not. Requires 25. And then I kinda, I think I do 5 for all of them. I'm pretty sure. Restore fatigue. Fortify attribute. Fortify attribute again. Finally restore attribute. Then I do intelligence. I don't think I make you guys sit through many more of these, do I? I seem to recall cutting it at some point to get the rest of them done. Because it was absolutely, yeah, I cut it right now. Now I have all of them done. So you don't have to wait through me individually typing out all of those. Alright, at this point I'm going to test it out and restore my attributes. See if it works. It is working. My intelligence was really damaged, to be fair. Oh, man. I think I've reached the capstone there. Yep. So I'm gonna do willpower, since that's the other attribute I needed to heal. I wonder what I'm doing now. I guess I'm just talking about something. I open the menu sometimes to have a conversation with the audience. With you guys. I think around this point, I just do some tedium stuff, some miscellaneous crap I need to get done, selling some stuff, whatnot. I seem to recall this part in particular not being terribly important, just selling stuff. I love that statue that looks kind of like the Burger King. What am I looking for?
May I help you? Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
I eventually decided that I don't need weeb katanas.
You've made a good bit of gold.
Yes, I have.
That's more than I'd usually pay.
That's because I made a good bit of gold.
Another's. Take it.
Yep, super satisfied. Let's see, do I have vampire dust or something?
Speak.
I'll go ahead and check out the Temple of the One here. One thing that comes to mind is, how are the dragon fires lit here? It looks like a single dragon fire is lit there. Like, where are the other fires going to be lit? I don't understand.
Good to see you.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
What is it, citizen?
Saradar's the one I want, and look
Greetings,
at
Argonian.
him. Daedric armor. You will notice that Blim-Dim really wants this, and this bodyguard guy is kind of a dick, so when Blim-Dim wants something, and someone else has it, what do you do? Well, we'll see.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
There's a mace I dropped at another point.
By the nine departments!
Yeah, I'm straight up just gonna kill him for his armor. Because he has a full suit of Daedric right there. Like, no pieces missing, save for, like, a helmet. All of that Daedric. What am I doing? Oh, I'm saving. Not loading. Go ahead. I'm over encumbered, so I'm gonna put my ebony shit on him. I think. Or I'm looking for other stuff first, but eventually I think I decide to put the, Oh, no, I've got a better idea. I put the Daedric back on him. Go sell the stuff I need to sell. Oh, man, that's crafty, Blim-Dim. I don't remember me thinking of that. But that's pretty good. Hoping the body will be there when I get back. We're just 3 guys and we're having a good time. Having a good time. Having a good time. My 3 brothers.
Interest you in?
Oh, I'm gonna repair it first. Or what am I doing?
Take care.
That, yeah. So I can sell it for more.
May I help you? I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. Thank. Bye.
I head back and pick up my new armor. Luckily, it's all still there. And then I take off the robe. Blim-Dim is fucking styling in his new full suit of Daedric armor. That shit is rad. I'm gonna style in this for a little bit without putting a robe over it, just because I'm just proud of this new achievement. This new accomplishment. There he is.
To see you again. Our brother returns to the fold.
You're not mad that I killed your bartender?
Excellent.
I mean, your bodyguard?
Excellent.
Excellent.
May the sunlight always safeguard your path.
Daedric Claymore. I'm gonna go sell that. I love how his mace looks with his armor. That Daedric mace with the Daedric armor has just a really good match.
Spare a coin for the infirm.
And that tail sticking out of the armor is priceless. Fucking wicked.
May I help you? Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel. Thank you.
Thank you. Come again.
You too.
Oh, so it looks like now I'm going to continue the Mage's Guild. See how that goes.
Hello, Con.
Greetings, guildmate.
Like my new armor, baby? I know I do. I'm orgasming about my magicka meter, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I'm talking about how I have enough magicka to cast some of my better spells now. And that I'll be able to make new ones that are better as well.
Greetings.
Well, I wonder what I'm looking up here. I'm looking up something. And, for whatever reason, I'm not cutting out me looking it up. Guess because there's just a quick cut that I need to do. Okay. Looking something else up. Then we got my, my boss there reading.
Wizard.
I shopped at Three Brothers.
Alright, Blim-Dim. What's up next? Jumping around, apparently.
Greetings, Conjurer.
Greetings, Conjurer.
Have you been to the Dark Fissure yet? We need to know all we can about the necromancers. So you saw them. The altars must be infused with some kind of power to change over the soul gems. I shall pass the news on to the council. Most troubling indeed to know that these are not merely myths. I also fear their numbers may be greater than we believed. You have again performed admirably. You have my thanks, and that of the council as well.
So apparently these guys have been around
Your
for a
role
little
with
bit.
your guild becomes ever more essential. You have now attained the rank of magician, and are freely able to access the council chamber.
What I mean by that is the necromancers. They,
Seek out Archmage Traven. He has personally requested that you see him for your next assignment.
You got it.
You too.
So, as I was saying, the necromancers have been doing this for a little bit, because Anasi was in a soul gem. Apparently the Telvanni were able to get a hold of one of these, and I stole it from the Telvanni. So apparently these necromancers have not been happy for a little bit. At least a few months now, maybe more. So they've been preparing for whatever they're preparing for some time now.
A pleasure to speak with you. Good day.
Greetings.
He is not Archmage
It is
Traven.
high time that we met face to face, don't you think? Raminus has told me good things about you. You have advanced quickly and show great promise. I now intend to put your talents to a more direct test. I have a difficult task that you can, perhaps, assist with.
Since everyone else in the guild
Are
is
you prepared
hacks,
to begin? Very
I'm the
good.
best to send.
Let me explain what is at stake. The Council of Mages has been aware of the increased necromancer activity in Cyrodiil for some time. It had been our position to sit back and watch what unfolded, but that time has clearly passed. We cannot tolerate these attacks on the Guild. Most of our information on the necromancers has come from an informant inside the cult itself, a Guild member who offered to infiltrate their ranks.
Someone on the
and
inside.
we have for quite some time. Though the information he has provided is limited, it has given us a sense of their scope and power. The Council was initially reluctant to believe the information was reliable, but with recent events, they have little choice but to trust it.
I understand.
I fear that our informant is in danger, and that is why I have called you here. Mucianus Elias. He is not a council member, but has long served the Guild here at the Arcane University. Aware of the growing interest in the Guild after the ban on necromancy was put into place, he offered to help the Council track the cult's actions. With my blessing, he infiltrated the group, and has fed us information for quite some time, until recently.
Oh, no.
I have not heard from him, and I fear for his safety.
Go on.
The lack of reports from Mucianus has disturbed the Council, and they are now concerned about the legitimacy of his information. A group of battle mages were dispatched to Mucianus's last known location with the intent of bringing him in for questioning. I argued against it, but eventually agreed to maintain order in the Council. I regret that decision, and that is why I wish to send you there. I fear the battle mages may mistreat Mucianus if they do not mistake him for one of the many necromancers no doubt present in the ruins. I wish for you to find Mucianus and ensure his safe return to the Arcane University. I do not want anything to go wrong. Please, hurry. The battle mages will arrive there soon, if they have not already, and time is of the essence.
Aye, aye,
If
Captain.
for any reason they are unsuccessful, Mucianus's life will be in forfeit. You must make sure he is safe. Go now, and bring word to me as soon as he has been escorted to safety. Mucianus last reported being sent to the ruins of Nenyon Twill, south of the Imperial City. That is where the battle mages went. South of the White Rose River, nearly halfway to the border of elsewhere. I'm afraid I know nothing more about the location, or what you may expect to find once you arrive.
Necromancers.
Thank you. Know that I would not ask such a thing of you if I did not feel it was urgent, or that it was beyond your capabilities. I shall await your return. Make
Greetings,
haste.
Guildmate.
Mucianus is in danger.
I will.
Greetings, Guildmate.
Greetings, magician.
I get kind of confused with those two doors looking exactly the same. Get kind of turned around on that building. I head over there from the Inn of Ill Omen. Audacity is still recording me. That's good. Thank the gods for that. Repairing my equipment before battle. My repair hammers now last twice as long. I still can't repair magical items yet. It has to elaborate. But I have reached level 25 in armor. Which is good. Huh. I wonder why I'm talking about my ebony shield. Must have had some point to make, but it is all lost to time now. Not that it was terribly important, but it would be useful information to have, I suppose. And I'm avoiding the map markers so I don't have to go there eventually. Ooh. And then the Oblivion gate. It kind of confuses me at first because I don't know where the Oblivion gate is. I don't see it at first. Usually they open up in way shrines such as that as an open assault on the 9 divines, but not this case. I don't know where it is at this point. And then I see it over there. I decided to go into it to get another one of those sigil stones that fortifies magicka. I find that to be a pretty good idea, so I go off to see it through. Huh, for some reason those claws were already extended and now they went back down. I think because I've been to this particular lair of Oblivion before. This particular Oblivion realm. I find that there's no door. That was funny how he flew. Oh man, that too. That was pretty good. Oh, they got lava underneath that elevator. That's wild. Yeah, see how the jumping controls are a tiny bit jank? I hit the jump button and nothing happens there. Got a cave there, but I decided not to search it since, of course, the caves are like always optional for the most part. In terms of the realms of Oblivion. Ouch. Keep going, Blim-Dim. Oh, there's a million doors on that map. And I'm so sick of the spider dangerous shit right now that I just avoid them entirely. Like, fuck. Such a pain. Hurrah! Da 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 da. Still not at the top. Got more to go. Almost there. With no health. Oops. Luckily, it's low-level mooks that have come to meet us this time, for the most part. And then the Zivali happens. Oops. Look at what all that armor did for Blim-Dim in that instance. Still dead as a doornail. Oh well. Ow. Not cool, man. Not cool. Alright. Here in a moment, I'm gonna save Scum again to get the right Sigil Stone. Boom. And I think this is the one where I got on the first try, which is pretty amazing to me. Like, usually I have to go through about 16 or so. But man, I would have died if I had hit the ground there. But anyway, I'm not positive it was that one or a different one, but I think it was that one that I did in the first try. If you hear me talking later on about a different one being done on the first try, there's only one of them that's ever turned out that way, so, you know. But I think it was that one. Man, I had to get some fucking rest so my health and stamina will go back up. I go ahead and decide to enchant my items. My boots first. Blim-Dim's power boots. Wild. I find out by that you can have the name be really long. And that's the naming scheme I stick with. Blim-Dim's Power X. Alright, Blim-Dim, figure it out. I still can't cast Finger of the Mountain, can I? Or can I? Let's see. Nope, can't. Oh, my skill level is too low. That's right, I need Destruction 100. Oof. Oh well. Silence. Scamp. My drain spells ain't great, but apparently it worked against that one guy. Blim-Dim's moderate stinging. Apparently I'm going home to heal. Oh no, I'm going home to make a spell. Okay. And then I looked something up and decided against it, apparently. Okay. I wonder what I was doing there. Looks like I'm going to be going off to sell stuff. That's fine. You know, I wouldn't do this for every episode, but this is kind of fun. Narrating over my own gameplay. Trying to guess what I was thinking about at that particular point in time, because whatever was going through my mind has been completely forgotten. Now I'm just admiring my armor. Oh yeah, good bit of gold there.
May I help you? Let's do business. That's more. You've made a good bit of gold.
Thank you, come again.
Thank.
What you talking about there, Drunken Mudcrab? This is going in a long spiel about something. Throwing him around in a fucking seizure. I'm betting I'm discussing my plans. To enchant my gear and get my magicka up. Enchant everything to have fortify magicka 50. That plan eventually falls through somewhat, but I still get what I want. You'll see. Well met.
Good day.
Well met.
You too.
A pleasure to speak with you. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
That's so expensive, I decided not to do it.
Something need charging?
Weakness to magicka. Now that is a fun effect.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I
It allows
interest
for a great level of destructiveness when it comes to using destruction spells.
you? Come back and
Suppose that's why they call them destruction spells, huh? I'm so giddy about it, I just go off to craft some spells right now. Trying to moderate it somewhat. And I picked the wrong one. I want to drain health. Because it's a lot cheaper. And then that is still destruction level skill of 25. I'll just stay silent. All I'm really doing is crafting spells here, seeing what works and what doesn't for my needs as a caster. Blim-Dim's severe backhand. I thought that was the price of the spell at first, but no, it was 198 gold. I do that sometimes. Okay. I try to kill a guard with it, and it does not even work in the slightest. Oops. That's a trouble. Oh, well.
It's all over.
Nope. Not the way to go. Oh, well. I'll get more powerful as time progresses. I'll figure it out.
Help! Help! I'm being attacked!
Computer hasn't fallen asleep again. That's good. Oh yeah, I still haven't made it to that freaking alien ruin. Don't fight the enemies, just run the fuck away from them. That's the Blim-Dim way, you know. He's not turning tail, he's making a tactical retreat. Oh, I'm fucking jamming out to the music. Menyon Twill. Yeah, that guy broke through my shield block.
Oh!
That's a dead clan fear. Restore my enchanted items charge. And it turns out it works on all enchanted items. So Apotheosis and Hatred's Heart were both restored.
You, what are you doing here? Has the council gone mad, sending you here alone? There's no time. The others, they were waiting for us. They knew we were coming. I'm the only one
Into
left. The
battle!
necromancers
I bet he
retreated
kicks all
further in.
kinds of
We've got
ass.
to follow them. There's no time to waste.
Just kidding.
Follow me.
I absolutely fucking died at this point. It's still amazing. They fucking recruit this badass battle mage, and the first thing he does is run into this trap and die. Oh man. Well, he's not the last surviving battle mage anymore. I'll tell you that. Oh shit. Just runs right into it. This is the most gormless thing imaginable. Fuck. That gets me so much. The trap used for its intended purpose. Looks like I'm going back home. What am I making here? Just a good old fire spell to use with just something to use my magicka with. Oh, I'm making apotheosis. A total of 99 damage with the staff. So now I can just make Apotheosis' effect, save for the target thing. That looks like I can cast it fairly easily. Blim-Dim's Apotheosis. And then I just double check to make sure that I spelled Apotheosis right. That's why there's this big pause as I'm Googling it. Yeah. Very, very picky it is. $62 is the exact number, it looks like. Yep, 62. Kind of arbitrary, huh? Blim-Dim's Hot Hands. Or Blim-Dim's Hot Hand. I'll hotkeying it and everything. Replace Blim-Dim's Roasting with Blim-Dim's Hot Hand. And that's why it looks like it turns your hand really hot. Back to Ninyan's Twiddle. I was amazed at how well I was doing against that Nether Lich. And I'm dying. I was doing well, though. Man, he opened his legs in quite the provocative way. Took a screenshot of it. Get some rest so I can fight the other crazy monsters in this dungeon. Ah, man. That's short-lived Battle Mage. That's an expensive robe. Now's the real necromancers, who are doing surprisingly poorly against my hot hands. Feels like the tables have turned in terms of Blim-Dim versus the necromancers. At this point, however, it does take quite a bit of magicka, but nice. One point away from destruction being at the point where I can make a make level 75 destruction spells and cast them. Because there's a physical limit on the spells you can cast based on the level in the skill. Doing pretty well against the Fated Wraith, too. I almost took it out with just a few spell casts. Battle and Mage. All in one. Blim-Dim's the full package, you dig? And all my stats are fucking damaged. Yeah, this is just me restoring my stats, nothing special about this. Apparently I'm pointing something out about the fact that I have a hard 75% resist disease. Do I have a disease? Probably. Yeah, I have a disease, and that's what's causing the drain agility and drain intelligence. Despite the fact that Blim-Dim is almost double immune to that shit. Oh well. Gotta try to restore some of my stats anyway. Just to see what'll go up. Looks like that's about all it'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Oh, you poor dear. I'm afraid you're late to the party. The guest of honor has already left. And I do hate to disappoint you, but Mucianus is in no condition to be leaving. He's a worm thrall now, and shall be quite content here. A grim fate.
Oh, no, you
indeed.
don't.
But one does not cross the order of the Black Worm without suffering greatly for it. I shall tell the master that you were here looking for him. Perhaps I'll
She
bring
dies
you your head as an
surprisingly
offering.
pitifully for like a mini boss.
This ends here. What's the matter getting tired?
Like she had dialogue and everything. Those things do not move very fast, I find. It's pretty easy just to avoid their attacks and evade. In this case, I'll let my magicka regenerate before I run at it. Now let hatred's heart do the rest. That's the Blim-Dim way. Let's be honest though, doing the polka is the Blim-Dim way. I don't know how that person over there didn't see us killing that wraith. But oh well. I guess they're blind. Took out their eyes for necromantic experiments, maybe? Oh man, he died like a bitch. That's pretty sweet. Alright. Taste my hot hand. Apply directly to the forehead. Icy hot. Looks like I'm luring them back. Pick them off one by one. I can use third person to peek around the corner. Die. Ooh, he died just because he got, like, trapped or at least lost that much health. Oh, I'm burdened. I can't chase him. Bad idea for him to come back at me. He could have ran away. Maybe lived. Nope. My hero. My skeleton hero. What a doll. Fuck, the first thing that happens is it gets silenced. That sucks. Guess I'll beat you up with my mace then. Got you, Wraith. I like how they just slink into a little pile of cloth. Like one of my ex-girlfriends would have a messy room all the time, right? And like you'd see like a dead wraith, like exactly like that, would just be clothes strewn about the place. That's literally what that the dead wraith reminds me of, like a pile of clothes on the floor that you forgot to put into the fucking hamper. What a demasculating fate. I'm destined to become laundry. I'm some soul laundry. Ectoplasmic laundry. Yeah. Alright, let's clean this place up. I wonder what I was doing there. Talking about something, probably. Necromancers. I decided to go back and heal before they see me. That was a good decision. You know, he's a necromancer. Why does he have the monk haircut? That perplexes me. Because, like, that's like a holy haircut. That's like a priestly haircut. That's, you know... And instead he's in the Order of the Black Worm. How'd you make yourself look like an idiot intentionally if it's not for some religious purpose? Ah, well. Maybe it has something, has a different meaning in Tamriel. In fact, maybe it's actually a trendy hairstyle. Who knows? Just trying to figure out what to drop since I'm just over encumbered. Drop some arrows. That does not do the trick. And then I figure it out. I've got a fucking tome in my inventory, and that's was weighing me down the whole time. I now know how to summon scamps. Do I ever use this spell? No. Finally head back. I'm deciding, like, let's get this job done. I don't need all this extra shit. Oh, I thought that opened the Varla Stone, but instead it opens up this thing. To reveal the sad, sad fate of Mucianus. He's a zombie now. Might as well put him out of his misery, you know? I bet it sucked being a zombie, you know? Putting him down's the best thing to do, you know? Lassie breaks a leg, you shoot her in the backyard with a shotgun. Got me?
Oh!
Surprisingly hard to put down for someone who originally started out not attacking me. I guess it takes some time to become a hostile zombie. Who knows? Maybe he recognized my conviction to the Mages Guild and decided not to eat my brains. No one knows for sure. Am I deciding whether or not I'm gonna drop that? Yeah, I'd do it. I don't need a bunch of random notes. And that's that. Now we have the arduous task of getting the fuck out of here. After, some nice looting, of course. Staff of Weakness. Of course, I'll drink that. I'll read the Ice Bolt tome. I don't think I'm gonna drop that after all. I want to keep it. I'm just playing around. I do decide to keep it, however. I'm gonna get rid of something else. Repair hammers. That did the trick. Man, Blim-Dim's looking pretty vicious lately, to be honest. And that was just, that door was just the fast way out. Leave via back door. Kinda hate that, to be honest, but it's okay. And I head home. For the time being. Can't believe it's you standing here next to me. What a goofball. I do know what I'm gonna do with that sigil stone, however. It's gonna make a really badass decoration on my altar here. Perfect. Since it's an Atronach altar, it's like Oblivion related, right? Since they come from Oblivion, so, you know, you get the idea. I'm gonna do the duty of dropping some cups. Might as well, since we're down here. Alright, guys. I'm gonna catch you all next time on Blim-Dim.